Hey, Charles Hoffman here from Plugin Alliance. Today we'll be walking through all the features of the Harris Doyle Natalus DSCEQ. This is a dynamic stereo console EQ plugin based on the hand-built hardware from Harris Doyle. It's a 4-band EQ that includes a low-cut filter and a unique peak level knob that allows you to apply magnetic tape-style saturation. At the bottom of the interface, there are all the features you'd expect from a Brainworx plugin. We have an input control, TMT options, a parameter link switch, a mid-side switch, a band gain switch, a mono maker, a stereo width control, a headroom knob, a unique TX drive knob, and finally, an output control. While the hardware looks like a vintage unit, it was actually released in 2019. The faceplate was clearly designed to embody the warm and rich tone of the unit. Currently, the hardware sells for almost $7,000, so it's great to see it available as a plugin with additional software-only features. If you're subscribed to Plugin Alliance's Mega Bundle, the Natalus EQ is included in your subscription at no additional cost. This bundle includes over 180 plugins, apps, and effects from over 40 brands, starting at just $14.99 per month. To demo the Mega Bundle for 30 days for free, click the link below to get started. Let's dive into the plugin. Each EQ channel includes a low band, low mid-band, high mid-band, and high band. There's a switch associated with each band that allows you to choose between applying a cut or a boost. In the center position, the band is bypassed. The knob to the left of each switch controls the amount of positive or negative gain applied. The high band also has a switch that lets you toggle between a bell and shelf filter. You can bypass the 4 bands by clicking on the L or R buttons next to the text that says EQ. Keep in mind that this doesn't bypass the low-cut filter. The Natalus EQ's low-cut filter is applied after the other EQ changes that you make. This feature is enabled by default, but you can punch it in and out of the signal chain by clicking on the L and R buttons beside the text that says LC.
Trying to say what's on my mind right now. To you and I can't get it out. You don't care what you do to me, just what people see. Even if I bleed, maybe I should leave you, but I wanna keep you tangled in my heart, and I feel like I need you. I'm melting in this water, and the flames are getting hotter. Just waiting for the end to come so I can start again.
There are a few things worth mentioning about this EQ that cause it to behave musically rather than sterile and predictable. Number 1, when a band is engaged, it will affect the overall behavior of the EQ, even if its gain is set to 0. Number 2, the EQ bands use a very wide bandwidth, meaning you can crank the gain without introducing harsh resonance. Finally, all bandwidth values are slightly different, leading to some interesting behaviors where the bands overlap. As a result, boosting and cutting the same frequency with neighboring bands can lead to unexpected tones. To be clear, this is absolutely the type of EQ you use to color a sound rather than apply surgical processing. Speaking of color, that brings us to the Natalus EQ's peak level knob. This knob adjusts the headroom of the EQ's magnetic saturation limiting circuit. It manipulates the harmonic information of the source signal, responding to transients magnetically, similar to analog tape and transformers. The lower the value of the knob, the quieter your output signal. You'll also end up with plenty of compression and pleasing distortion. As you turn the knob up, your output level will increase and the signal will become cleaner and more transient.
Trying to say what's on my mind right now. See, you and I can't get it out. You don't care what you do to me, just what people see. Even if I bleed, baby, I should leave you, but I wanna keep you tangled in my heart, and I feel like I need you. I'm melting in this water, and the flames are getting hotter. Just waiting for the end to come so I can start again.
Moving on, there's an input and output meter that include clip warning indicators. It's possible to reset the clip warning lights by clicking anywhere on the input or output meter. At this point, we've covered all the features found on the hardware unit. Everything else we're going to take a look at is unique to the plugin. As you can see, there are a lot of features that have been added. Adjusting the input knob has a significant impact on the sound of the Nautilus EQ. It lets you drive your audio into the plugin, causing more or less saturation to be applied by the limiting circuit. To level match your input and output signal and effectively deal with loudness bias, go ahead and tweak the output knob. In classic Brainworx fashion, we have TMT or tolerance modeling technology options. This feature recognizes the uniqueness of each piece of hardware and its internal circuits. Two identical hardware equalizers won't produce the exact same sound. The TMT module generates these slight variations, allowing you to choose between different TMT channels. Essentially, this is comparable to swapping between a Nautilus dynamic stereo console EQ with serial numbers 1, 2, 3, etc., each with its own unique characteristics. Each containing components with slightly different tolerances. The tolerances in the Nautilus EQ plugin are actually quite minimal because the components were well chosen by Harris Doyle Audio. High-quality mastering-grade components tend to provide small tolerance values in the range of 1 to 2%. As a result, adjusting the TMT knob within this plugin won't have a drastic effect on your audio. The stereo mode switch is the heart of Brainworx TMT feature. When analog is activated, small inherent differences between the modeled componentry in each channel will produce a pleasing analog sound. With digital mode activated, both channels in the Nautilus DSCEQ will be identical in circuitry, providing a perfectly even sound characteristic of digital audio. By default, the left and right channel parameters are linked, but you can unlink them using the parameter link switch. You may want to unlink them if you're processing a stereo recording with more or less harmonic content in one channel than the other. This is especially helpful when tracking audio in stereo using a wide-spaced pair of microphones. When you flip the mid-side switch to the on position, the left channel becomes the mid channel and the right channel becomes the side channel. With parameter link turned off, you can process the mid and side channel individually. This gives you plenty of control when mastering songs. Maybe you want to brighten up the sides of a mix by boosting around 8 kHz and enhance the intelligibility of vocals by boosting the mid channel near 1.5 kHz.
Trying to say what's on my mind right now. To you and I can't get it out. You don't care what you do to me, just what people see. Even if I bleed, baby, just waiting for the end to come so I can start again. Trying to say what's on my mind right now. To you and I can't get it out. You don't care what you do to me, just what people see. Even if I bleed, baby, I should leave you, but I wanna keep you tangled in my heart, and I feel like I need you. I'm melting in this water and the flames are getting hotter. Just waiting for the end to come so I can start again.
The gain range switch affects the gain range of the EQ bands. When set to full, each band's gain ranges from 0 to 11, and when set to half, each band's gain ranges from 0 to 5.5. Half mode provides a finer resolution of control, which is perfect for mastering. The neat thing about this feature is that the GUI updates to reflect the new values. These are not decibel values, so just keep that in mind. Think of 0 as quiet and 11 as loud. You get access to a mono maker knob that allows you to sum your low end into mono up to 2 kHz. This is useful when mastering and helps you achieve mono compatibility. Not all playback systems are stereo, so when your bass sums to mono, phase cancellation may take place, resulting in a loss of low end impact. By summing your bass to mono in the box, you can EQ your low end appropriately to make up for the loss of power that results from partial phase cancellation. Then, when your mix plays back through a mono system or a system with a single subwoofer, you have nothing to worry about. The stereo width knob does what you would expect it to do. It makes your mixes wider, but it does this without compromising the integrity of audio content within the center of the stereo field.
Trying to say what's on my mind right now. To you and I can't get it out. You don't care what you do to me, just what people see. Even if I bleed, maybe I should leave you, but I wanna keep you tangled in my heart, and I feel like I need you. I'm melting in this water and the flames are getting hotter, just waiting for the end to come so I can start again.
The headroom knob adjusts the input gain and compensates for the output gain to provide more or less headroom. With less headroom, the limiter circuit kicks in sooner, whereas with more headroom, you can push the input signal further before limiting gets applied. The TX drive knob solely affects the headroom of the transformer model. An audio transformer is typically responsible for things like impedance matching, balancing or unbalancing an audio signal, voltage or current step up and step down, and phase reversal. Turning up the TX drive knob results in more harmonic distortion added to low and low mid frequencies. With lower values selected, less harmonic distortion is applied. When set to the off position, the transformers are bypassed, resulting in a transformerless version of the circuit. Just think of this knob as another way to add subtle harmonic flavor to your audio.
Trying to say what's on my mind right now. See, you and I can't get it out. You don't care what you do to me, just what people see. Even if I bleed, baby, I should leave you, but I wanna keep you tangled in my heart, and I feel like I need you. I'm melting in this water and the flames are getting hotter, just waiting for the end to come so I can start again.
Here's a before and after version of the Natalus EQ applied to various tracks in this mix. It works great on EDM, which sometimes has a tendency to sound cold, depending on the methods used to generate the sounds being used. The Natalus EQ can be applied to pop, punk, rock, metal, and hip-hop tracks, leading to glossy, warm, and harmonically rich results. This is a very musical EQ that's perfect for tone-shaping sounds, and it's full of rich color. It sounds great on kick drums, snares, drum busses, basses, both acoustic and electric guitars, and electronic sounds that require analog warmth. Again, if you've subscribed to Plugin Alliance's Mega Bundle, the Natalus EQ is included in your subscription at no additional cost. You can demo the plugin for 30 days for free with no limitations, along with all the other products a part of the Mega Bundle. Click the link below to get started, and make sure to subscribe to the Plugin Alliance YouTube channel for more product walkthroughs like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.